The road we're on is paved in Garth.
Come along on the journey.
As we explore
Garthology.
Think of it more as a conversation. I like that. So if this is truly a conversation, then I say let the conversation begin. Showtime!
Hi, everyone. It's Deb.
And I'm Pete.
And I'm Jess.
Welcome to Season 3, Episode 10 of the Garthology podcast. Thanks again for checking in with us. For this episode, we will be playing Garth Games again. This is part 6 of the Garth Games, and in this episode, we are discussing 2 different brackets. We will be narrowing down the Heartbreak songs to the final 2 songs in that bracket, and we will also be narrowing down the Cowboy songs category to the final 2 songs in that bracket. If you haven't checked out our bracket form, you can find it at our website and on our social media accounts. Now, let's start with our first Heartbreak songs battle of this round. That is She's Gonna Make It versus What She's Doing Now. Eesh, that's tough, guys.
That's a good one.
Yeah, this pairing's hard.
Yeah. Okay, I'll go ahead and start this one. So I have to tell you guys, so for prepping this episode, I mean, I know we've said this now a lot. Oh, this is hard. Oh, this one's hard. Oh, it's getting harder. But I mean, this may have been the hardest time I had tonight. Like all 4 of tonight's battles are such great songs. So I struggled on all of them. But for She's Gonna Make It versus What She's Doing Now, the only way I could get through it was to just finally ask myself, if I had to listen to one of these songs every day for the rest of my life, what would it be? And that was the only way I could get through it. I was like, okay, I'll answer that question. What She's Doing Now. Like I had no reason for it. It was just when I thought about listening to it every single day, that's the one I went, that's the one. So that's my only reason. I've got nothing else.
I mean, these are difficult, so I think you just have to do what works. Whatever gives you an answer makes a decision.
Right? That's what got me through it. So that was my answer. What She's Doing Now. So Jess, what about you?
I feel like I can't say I really love both of these songs because I say that every single time and it's always true, but I just can't keep saying the same thing. So, I listened to both of the songs and they're both beautiful songs. They're both well written and the music in them I enjoy equally. So to me, it really came down to just kind of going over the lyrics, and my favorite part in She's Gonna Make It is the part when it says she's sinking at sea, or he's sinking at sea and her sails are filled. She's gonna make it and he never will. I always love that. It always stayed with me listening to the song. And then my favorite part of What She's Doing Now is at the end of the chorus when it says, I wonder if she knows what she's doing now, because it's such a cool play on words. And so I honestly could argue for either one of these songs, but I chose She's Gonna Make It.
No.
Wowza.
Oh, no.
Wowza.
No.
I've always loved that. I mean, they really are both great, and I do love both songs. But yeah, when I think of the lyrics, that's the one I had to go with.
Wow.
So now that sets Pete up to have to decide which of these amazing songs is going to go on. So it's all on you, Pete.
I could appreciate the way that both of you guys got to your conclusion, and they both made a lot of sense. I took 2 small pieces of paper and wrote the names, put them on my wall, closed my eyes, threw a dart, whatever one it hit. That's what I went with. This one was a little difficult. You know, She's Gonna Make It is a phenomenal song, and so is What She's Doing Now. Like the story behind both the songs, it actually, like, for me, when I listen to them, it kind of puts me on a log, just sitting there watching this entire story just kind of unravel in both of these songs. And I enjoy both of them thoroughly. But when it came down to it, there's one that's on the playlist, and it's from day one. It's always been a song that I've really, really enjoyed. I know the majority of all the lyrics to it, and I listening to both of them while doing the research and the decision. I always found myself more in tuned and laser focused on the song that I chose, and the song that I chose to move on is "What She's Doing Now."
Yay!
So that song is something
But she's
special.
gonna
Both of
make
them.
it.
I know. Well, guess what? This song didn't make it.
Oh, that's hurtful. That's hurtful, Pete.
Sorry.
That was me.
I bet you that song's wondering what it's doing now.
Hashtag dad jokes.
Yeah, little dad joke there. We'll play on words, but no, I mean, gosh, they're both so good. They're both really, really good. But yeah, what she's doing now is going to move on, in my opinion. Well, it is. It's going to move on now. So
Hashtag dad jokes.
dad jokes. But
I was like, what are you so tickled about?
Yeah, I was so happy.
Awesome.
Nobody's
I
laughing
bet
about me.
That
'cause
song
I-
wonders what it's doing now.
But don't ching.
Yeah, exactly. We need sound effects
Yeah.
for that moment.
Yeah, don't ching.
Oh my goodness, that's
Yeah.
gonna stick with me. Okay, so now it's been decided what she's doing now. We'll move on. So let's continue in the heartbreak bracket. And now it is Learning to Live Again versus the Thunder Rolls. So, Pete, let's start with you this time. What moves on for you?
Yeah, so this one, like instantly when I saw it, it was automatically the Thunder, right? Because the Thunder is such an iconic Garth song. But I had to be fair to Learning to Live Again. And I thought to myself, the only way that I could possibly do it the right way, take away how big the Thunder has been for Garth and, the song itself, what everybody has to say about it, and really give both of them a fair shake. So I sat back and I listened to both of them, kind of on their own time, and gave it some time. I really listened to the lyrics to Learning to Live Again. And then, of course, you don't have to listen to if you're a Garth fan, you don't listen to the lyrics of the Thunder. I mean, you know them, the video, the story. And no matter which way I tried to twist it or turn it, there's just something iconic about the Thunder to me. And so I chose the Thunder to move on. Although Learning to Live Again, I mean, that in itself is just a fantastic story to lyric song. And I love it. But the Thunder will always hold a special place for me. And it moved on. As hard as I tried to make it fair, I couldn't get away from it. So what about you, Jess? How about you? What was your choice here?
Well, I am going to apologize to you right now, Deb, because I'm going to say right up front, I'm about to make you break the tie on this because just like you immediately went for the Thunder, I immediately went to Learning to Live Again, which I feel like is the underdog here and not the popular choice probably for most people, but we're doing our personal favorites.
Sure.
And so for me, as much as I love the Thunder Rolls, and I do, and I love the music, especially in the Thunder Rolls, I will never forget hearing Learning to Live Again and it getting to the part where it says, oh my God, I've forgotten her name. And just the gut punch that I feel when I hear that lyric. And I still play this song a lot and listen to it. And there's something about that story and the feeling that it evokes. And just, Garth has so many story songs, but that one has stayed with me through the years of just being, and I don't know if it's the age I was when I heard it and like getting a song and a story like that for one of the first times, but I couldn't choose hardly anything over it. That one's hard to beat for me.
Yeah, and you know what's crazy? You bring that up on the podcast and on our social medias and stuff. Learning to Live Again has had a lot of talk recently, like a lot of talk recently with different tweets and lyrics that we put out every once in a while, and it's kind of crazy that it came up. So, well, son of a gun! I'm sorry, Jess.
Awesome.
Yeah, and Deb, this is good luck.
Yeah, so
Deb.
sorry for that.
Yeah, good luck.
This is not right. This is just not right. I'd like to file a formal complaint. So whoever I do that with,
that box
I would
over
like
your left shoulder, the box over your right shoulder.
This is like, when you're a writer and they say like sometimes when you're writing you have to murder your darlings. You have to, it's like that. It's that gut punch to let go of some songs that you love.
I didn't think either one of the three of us would not pick Thunder here.
Yeah, no, I didn't imagine that, which is why I certainly didn't think I would be breaking a tie, because I also picked the Thunder.
Yes.
Oh, well, I mean, I kind of figured, but I had to go with my favorite.
And you did, and it was a difficult choice. I mean, you guys know how much I love that song, and Jess, for all the reasons that you gave. And I will always be thrilled with that song every time he sings my name, because I know he's singing to me. But I couldn't imagine the Thunder not moving on. And I'm shocked. I didn't think there was going to have to be any discussion. I thought we would all just say the Thunder, the Thunder, the Thunder, and done.
Well, hey, I got one for you. That song's going to have to learn how to live again.
Boy, we just keep setting him up for him to knock him down.
Hashtag dad jokes. Oh my gosh. Okay, so the Thunder Rolls moves on, and it will next be battling what she's doing now. I don't even know how we continue doing this. Okay, but that's in an upcoming Garthology episode, so I don't need to worry about it right now. That's what I'm going to just keep telling myself.
You just said that, and I just looked at both of them, and my instinct was like, oh gosh, they do go up against each other.
Yep. But that is a problem for a different day. Yep. So we will stay with today's problems. Today's next problem is heading down to the Cowboy bracket. Tonight's first Cowboy battle is Rodeo versus Much Too Young. So I need to step back. And Pete, you go first. What do you have to say about this battle?
I want to file a complaint, because I can tell you that along in these brackets that we did research on, this was the most difficult for me. Let me start off with saying Much Too Young to Feel This Damn Old is just a sensational song. I mean, it literally tells just a fantastic story of, somebody who's put in the work and who's aged through doing it, and, feel so much older in the story than what they really are. I mean, obviously the title says it all. And then you go to a song like Rodeo, and the story behind Rodeo, like both of these songs are just, I mean, they are cowboy songs through and through. There's not a lyric in it that doesn't relate to some style of cowboy life. So this one was very, very difficult. I listened to both of them, and the one that I decided I was going to go with was the one that I turned up the loudest, and it was Much Too Young to Feel This Damn Old. As hard as it was for me not to pick Rodeo, I went with Much Too Young. So that's the song that I picked to move on. What about you, Deb? You got to step forward now. No more stepping back.
How in the world Rodeo versus Much Too Young? I mean, those songs are iconic for Garth. I've seen him in concert 30 times. I've watched him perform these songs live 30 times, because there's never a concert that goes by where he doesn't do both of these songs.
Correct.
Like, these are consistent songs in his repertoire. Like, I can't. But if I had to.
Yeah, but you have to.
But if I have to.
I'm sorry, Pete. I picked Rodeo.
Oh.
No.
Oh.
Now that sets me up to have to decide.
Yes, it does. Oh my gosh.
Dang.
Which I can't imagine. I can't imagine either one of these songs being left behind.
I have to keep telling myself, like, I mean, they're not getting left behind, really. Like, they're getting, they're still going to get played. Like, in my head, it's like
we're ruling them out to never listen to them again.
Burst into, yeah, exactly. It's going to never exist again.
Can you imagine our life without the Thunder, like for Jess, right? If she just had to rule that one out. Can you imagine life without the Thunder?
No.
Or without either one without the Rodeo or Much Too Young. Like, I mean, it just doesn't make sense.
It doesn't work. My life doesn't work that way.
Okay. So for this one, I mean, for all the things that you guys said, these are staples at a Garth concert. These are staples for any Garth fan. ruling out either one of these songs is really difficult, but we've talked about like it's all going to come down to one song. So I mean, we know no matter how hard it is, some of these are going to have to just go by the wayside. So I had to just weigh the things that I love about both of them, and kind of when I ticked all the boxes and did the pluses and minuses, the thing that really tipped it over the edge for me and made me pick the song that I did, and it's probably going to give away the song, but is the intro.
Oh.
And I had to pick Much Too Young.
Yes.
That was the thing that like tipped it over the edge in the end for me, was that every time that intro starts, I'm just like, I think my heart goes a little bit because it knows what's coming. But I mean, it was a hard choice. Two great songs. But again, it's they're cowboy songs, but the type of song it is a little bit apples and oranges to me. Like it was really hard to pit one against the other and get rid of one. But yeah, I love Much Too Young too much. It had to be the one to move on for me.
Love
oh
it.
my
Great
gosh,
choice.
I can't
Fantastic.
believe Rodeo's not moving. I'm
Wonderful.
failing at all my brackets.
Well, in
tonight.
kindness to you, then I think you should go first for the last one.
Oh boy.
So that you don't get stuck in the tiebreaker position should there be one.
All right, that's a deal. Okay, so that final battle of tonight's episode is In Lonesome Dove versus The Beaches of Cheyenne. That's ridiculous.
That one hurts too.
That one hurts a lot. I mean, we've talked about both of these songs all the time on this podcast. And so
we have talked about both of them a lot.
We have. They've come up a lot, which tells you they are our favorites. Like we tend to, go over and over our favorite songs. It's just part of what comes along with this podcast. So my only choice on this was to just go purely on emotions and memories of this song that I picked. And unfortunately, one of the songs I have a lot more memories of than the other song. And so I had to pick The Beaches of Cheyenne because all those memories of him, again, performing it live. And in Lonesome Dove, he does every once in a while, but it's usually only in housekeeping. And I just don't have that ingrained in the memories of my life the way I do The Beaches of Cheyenne. So I'm done. So Jess, let's go over to you. I'm back at you.
It's funny that you would say that you went on just emotion and your memories on this one, because that's exactly what I did too. And it led me down the exact opposite path.
Oh no.
I chose In Lonesome Dove, and it's because as much as I love The Beaches of Cheyenne, we've talked about In Lonesome Dove is the song that really made me love Garth. It's the first song that I played over and over and over when I didn't even have like a CD player that had repeat on it. I had like a cassette tape that I had to rewind over and over to listen to this song, but I obsessively loved it. And so it was more nostalgia probably than anything for me on this one that made me have to kind of advance In Lonesome Dove as far as I possibly can. So now Pete has to be the one to decide which of our babies goes on and which of them stays here.
Yeah, it's crazy how much both of these songs have, different, like you guys said, memories to both of you. And, Aunt Deb, you were talking about Beaches of Cheyenne and the memories of seeing him play it so often. And it's crazy because you and I have seen a lot of shows together. And one thing that always reminds me of this song, or like when I think about this, the beaches, is I think about when the stage turns blue. Everything is blue, and you see the white foam. We've been down on the floor where you see the blue on the post. We've been up top where
pillars,
you see right on the pillars, and then we've been up top where you see the foam kind of run around the bottom of the stage. And The Beaches is a fantastic story song again, and I know I keep saying it, but The Beaches, those memories, like I'll always remember The Beaches with those memories and seeing it live. And then Jess talks about replaying that song, and I remember the first time that I heard it. It is still to this day, if that song comes on once, I will replay it twice and three times. And to me, it's just so darn special to listen to Garth sing In Lonesome Dove during housekeeping at the concerts, at the live shows, because it's not a song that goes into the rotation of a live show, but it is a song that is requested quite a bit in housekeeping. And so when you hear him sing it live, it's a memory that you hold on to, because it's not one that we've seen 25 or 30 times during a show. So both of these were very difficult songs to try to pinpoint which one it was. But I thought to myself, if there was a song out of these two that, it comes on, when the Beaches comes on, I turn it up. I turn it up real loud. When Lonesome Dove comes on, I turn it up real loud. But I always make sure to play it twice or 3 times. So my decision is in Lonesome Dove.
Oh my
Yay!
gosh.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It lives to see another day.
Beaches of Cheyenne is getting left behind. I can't believe it.
Well, somebody can go have a rodeo on a beach somewhere, because they're still going to stay together.
All right. Yeah. And actually, I mean, so now we know it's going to be Much Too Young versus In Lonesome Dove in a future episode. So
Oh,
Just-
that one hurts me.
just putting it out there for you guys to start thinking about. That is not a problem for today, but a future day that
we are
will be
really
a problem.
setting ourselves up for a lot of nonsense coming forward. Like, why are we doing this?
Kind of a very Scarlett O'Hara moment. Like, I'll think about that tomorrow.
It's like slowly but surely poking yourself in the eye with a pin. Like, I know it's
Yes,
coming.
I can see it there. Headed this way.
All right, guys. Well, that wraps up today's episode of our Garth Games Part 6. So be sure and stay tuned for a future episode where some of these songs will move on and some of them will not. Oh my goodness. Have you checked out our website at garthology.com yet? If not, stop by today and check out our past episodes and bonus content. And remember to subscribe to our podcast on your podcast platform of choice. Finally, be sure and share us with everyone you know. That way you can help your friends in low places become Garthologists too.
Speaking of friends in low places, if you guys are on social media, you can find us on Facebook. We are at facebook.com/GarthologyCast. If you guys are on Instagram and Twitter, we are at GarthologyCast there. We do appreciate the time that you guys spend with us there, liking, sharing, tweeting, retweeting, and even the direct messages asking us questions and or making comments about finding the podcast and listening to it. We love, love, love the support and the interaction. So keep doing it. Thanks, guys.
Join us for our next episode of Garthology, which will be Season 3, Episode 11, which will air on May 7th on your podcast platform of choice. Until then,
this has been Season 3, Episode 10 of Garthology, and I'm Deb.
I'm Pete.
And I'm Jess, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Finish it! Finish it!
Next time, I'm just going to leave like a really long, awkward pause.
Bye.